Welcome back to another episode of Trail Talk. My name's Evan. We got Eric behind the camera.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've said that in a little while.
I'm here.
Nobody was worried about it though. Today we have a cool video, one that I'm really stoked on. I realized that we have never done like a build breakdown. You know, I hate that term, but like just shown a build overview of the vehicles that we have out on the channel, you know?
Yeah.
Eric and I are both actually huge fans of the two vehicles that we are primarily using on the channel, which, pro tip, next video, maybe we'll do the white ATV. So today, we're just hanging out. We are going to simply do an overview of everything that we have done so far to this General XP. First thing, well, before I come down here, what is this vehicle? So this vehicle is a General XP 1000, and it is actually a limited edition. Actually, come back here, Eric. We're gonna be mobile, but we're gonna come back there too. I love the limited edition badge on the Generals.
Yeah.
Limited edition. This was called the Factory Custom Edition, which was kind of because it has like a cool kind of wrap look on it that you don't generally see from a stock vehicle. It had some cool tire things, we'll talk about it, but basically it was kind of like you got almost a custom build in a limited edition.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So back up to the front, General XP 1000 limited edition. Love this vehicle. When we were planning all this YouTube stuff actually initially, and these were like freshly launched at the time, and we had done some photo, video, obviously, I was just like, oh, we gotta snag one of these. So don't worry, we didn't take anyone's like ability to get one of the cool limited editions. This wouldn't have been, you know, sold anyway, so we took it, it's ours, and it's staying on the channel for some amount of time. And who knows what we'll do with it, Eric?
Who knows?
We'll do something with it someday.
Yeah.
When we get, you know, maybe get something new. Okay, front of the vehicle. In the front of the vehicle, this is a feature that is standard on General XPs. We have a front bumper. I love this front bumper because I like to have protection on the front of the vehicle. This one is awesome because it's color matched to, or not really color matched because it's mostly gray, but color accented. You know, if that matters to anyone.
It matches the arms.
Matches the arms, matches the other blue. But the real reason that I just am a big fan of the General bumper style, honestly, is because it's not too big.
Yeah.
I do not like, or I should say, I'm not a fan, nor do I like, when bumpers are massive, cover the whole, you know, thing up front. There's totally a use for that, and I know a lot of people who use those have them for specific reasons. Where I ride and how I ride, it generally does not need that, and so I like to have the protection, but in a kind of minimal, clean format. Is that fair?
Yeah.
It's not gonna be fair to somebody out there, Eric.
It works for you, and that's what counts.
Also attached to the bumper, and a great reason to have a bumper, are many things. Let's take a look at them. We have some lighting up here. So we have, these are driving rigid pods, Eric.
Okay.
So driving pod here, driving pod here. I don't know if you can tell, but they're slightly canted to the outside. So it's not like, sometimes people put lights up on the A-pillars. It's not and point them like off to the sides, like ditch lights, some people call them, into the ditch. These aren't full-blown ditch light setup, but they do, because they're a driving beam and obviously, you know, cast a wider beam, they do get a little bit of the side trail, and then the main headlights, which are awesome LED, can still focus directly down the front of the trail as well. Really good package, and then paired with that, this is a combo, oh gosh, 10, 11 inch, can't remember, Pro Armor light bar. And so there is some spot in the middle and there's some driving on the outside. So we have even more driving. So if we really need to punch like straight down the trail, super far, this little package of a light bar is actually beastly.
Nice.
So you're gonna hear a lot of my personal preferences today. Because obviously this was, you know, primarily built by our preferences. I do not generally like to have a big light bar up top because it flares the hood so much.
Okay.
Totally, and it can flare dust in front of you. If you're by yourself, sure, you can see super far.
Is that kind of like when you're driving your car in the winter and you turn your high beams on when it's snowing?
Basically, yeah. When it's raining and you light the rain up, the snow, or if you've ever driven in the dust and turn your lights on, you'd be able to tell too. Lights down low is super helpful, so that's what I like. Even lower down here, Eric, a winch. So I'm a huge fan of winches. You obviously want to have the ability to self-recover. It is the #1 self-recovery tool outside of another vehicle. So if you're riding alone, highly recommend this. Even if you're riding with someone, it's such a helpful tool. You could get stuck to the point where you need both a vehicle and a winch still stabilizing what's going on as well. So love having a winch. Synthetic is absolutely the way to go. This is not the winch that came on the vehicle, Eric.
Okay.
So this is the HD Pro winch, which actually, it has rapid rope recovery, which recovers the rope in 5 times faster. But also, do you ever feel like a car salesman? You're like, but also, it has the wireless remote.
Oh, that's awesome.
For the winch as well. So you can attach this to your key. I don't really generally do that because I keep my keys in a different place. You can mount this, which I also haven't done, separate from the key, and then you can, you hear how it retains?
Yeah.
You can mount this somewhere and make this accessible. I just put it in the center console. I don't usually end up winching too much unless you're really like going through some muddy terrain or wet terrain or snowy terrain in Minnesota. So not a high use item unless something happens or if you're helping someone. That is generally the front of the vehicle down low. We also have a front facing camera. I'll cover that a little more on the inside. None of this is necessary, by the way. Like the vehicles by themselves are epic. These are just things I've wanted to add. So convenient to have a front-facing camera. If you're pulling up to a wall to park and you don't want to hit the wall, or maybe you're in your garage and you know you have to be in a certain distance and you don't want to crash into the living room though. There's a rock crawling, right? You can use this stuff. So cool. We've talked about it plenty. Don't need to talk further about it, but love that. The lighting on this machine, Eric, just the accent lights on this, phenomenal. Love that part of the vehicle. That is stock. So this is some of what makes the XP part of the general XP. If you come on in here, you have more suspension than the standard General 1000 would. So you got better shocks. These are the Walker Evans. Literally, these are so nice. You know, Fox is obviously a phenomenal company, but the Walker Evans shocks, just how they're tuned and packaged on an XP, just freaking eats, Eric.
Yeah, we tested that and they do work well.
So good. They are plush. They're such a good combination of being plush for small chatter and yet still letting it really eat through bigger stuff. You also have super beefy arched A-arms. Love that. That's all stock from the factory. Over here, follow me along, we have a different wheel and tire package than is generally coming from the factory for an XP. So this is part of the limited edition. You get the cool Pro Armor wheels with a real bead lock.
Nice.
Fun fact, Eric, I actually want to change to the standard XP General wheels.
Why?
That don't have a bead lock.
Okay.
That require less maintenance. And we don't really need a bead lock. Sure. You know, we've talked a lot about these two in the past. What I'm doing and what we're doing on the show, not super necessary to have a bead lock. It's more weight. They look cool for now. They've been fun to run. We'll probably keep running them for a while because that just takes time to change them and we'll need to do that at some point. This is also a different tire than comes standard on the General XP, but it is a bigger tire. So it's a 30-inch tire, which does not normally come on a standard General, but all of the XPs come with a 30-inch, which is just the way you gotta go.
Yeah.
Like literally, I think one of the, I forget if it was like the product director or one of the engineers said, like the reason the XP was made is because everyone who got a General put on bigger tires and tried to put on more suspension, if you will. And so we're like, hey, why don't we just do that straight from the factory, warranty it, and make it all just like work with the drivetrain, because there's a ton of drivetrain improvements. So bigger tires, love that. We might change the wheels, Eric. We have a windshield on this machine. I am not a big fan of windshields historically, but I think we're going to be doing some things with this vehicle in winter, which you'll hear more about in a bit, that will require fully enclosing this. So I kind of wanted to just get the feel for it, more so in summer and some of the other seasons, and see how it works out. I love how easy it is to install. We've shown that before, super easy. There's literally 4 clips, and yet it's so sturdy on here. You could do a windshield wiper. I'm not into that quite yet. Maybe we'll have to when it gets inclement weather, but, oh, and the fun thing with the windshield is we still need the back panel. And I know I ordered it, but I don't know where it is. And I think it might be my fault, so I don't know. We will have a back panel, which you really do want to have, so there isn't the vortex effect sucking dust back in. But we'll figure that out. Down here, we are running rock sliders.
Beefy.
Beefy, the beefy ones. There are, I can't remember if General has low profile rock sliders. Some other side-by-sides do. I like the ones that usually have the kick out because it gives you more clearance away from the vehicle, typically in line with the tire. So if something is, say you rub a tree with your tire super slow, like you're kind of crawling around like a tight turn, it will not then probably hit this. It will kick off of the slider, and the slider will push the vehicle kind of around the tree. Whereas if we had them, even aftermarket, you can get low profile ones. If it was all the way sucked up here, you'd probably hit this panel and some other stuff. And it's just, the door bulge is further out than here. I want this to be the furthest point out from the vehicle. It is also kind of nice if you need like a step in some ways.
Sure.
Hey, I need to look up top here, you know. Rock sliders are just kind of nice to have. Great peace of mind. You hit a rock, who cares? You're on a rock crawl, you hear that sound, right?
Metal, yeah.
If you hear that sound and you don't have a rock slider, you are much more concerned about what's going on. Obviously the engine is in the rear of this machine. Actually love the, naturally aspirated on the General XP. For the amount of power that you're getting, there's very few times when you're trail riding outside of wide open desert, wide open like straight line trails. If you're in a tight twisty trail, you will basically never get to use all the power. And so I love the engine in the General, super gutsy. Immediately you're feeling that thing just shred. The Velocity Series shocks, once again, Eric, basically, again, have the different compression zones, just so butter smooth in the small stuff. They're increasing compression capability the more zones they progress, kind of like a Fox internal bypass shock. High clearance arched arms, once again. This is going to be the hitch, Eric. One of the things that we use quite a bit in the future. So I love that Generals come with a 2-inch hitch, mountain bike racks. Some beefy ones are going to fit in here, and we do need some beefy mountain bike racks because of what this machine will be going through to get to certain places. Stay frickin' excited for that. Love that it also has the chain stays, just super nice to have. Also down here, the rear facing camera. Gotta love that. The greatest thing ever when you're backing up.
Especially if you're hooking up a trailer or something.
Oh yeah, back right up to it. Hard to turn when you have your helmet on, all that stuff. Dumping box on a General, so cool to have. Obviously it works just like a tailgate. Not as big of a box as on a Ranger, but you don't need that much space for what I like to do in a General. Currently there's just a bag here because we need it for bag things. Yeah, right before this, you are seeing that we installed the rear rack. This rack is so cool. Love how this just completes the rear of the vehicle. So many capabilities to put things up here, coolers underneath. We already just talked about it, right? You also have the capability, this bag is heavier than normal, to dump, again, you want no loose bags. You have the capability to dump everything in here. That's super cool. Also for the General XP, because it's running bigger tires, because it's running more suspension, and the engine and chassis have to withstand the extra force and loads driven into everything, which by the way, when you add bigger tires, it's not like a linear increase, like a static increase. It is like an exponential increase in force. So the isolated front drive, the increased drivetrain strength, the increased and extra braced and gusseted chassis strength, all of that makes the General XP just work so well and basically let it eat how it does. Yep. It's so cool how capable this machine is from a performance perspective, but then you have all this storage space. You could take the rear seats out and store stuff or bring more people. I'm a big fan of a General. Inside the vehicle, you got awesome stuff like obviously center consoles, very similar to your everyday life. The rear actually also does, which is pretty cool.
It's big too.
Huge, yeah. Super deep. Also cup holders, phone cubby, right?
Sure.
I don't know, maybe at slow speeds. I don't know if you launch your iPhone like...
Maybe it's a cookie slot.
How many?
Maybe 2. I don't know. We'll have to try it at some point.
These could be monster, though.
Yeah, could be. Depending on who's making them.
If you're making them, it is one fat cookie.
Well, I don't make cookies. I eat them.
That's fair. Okay, what else have we done in here? So, I actually do like the dash storage bag. This is actually normally where I put my phone. This is also quite cavernous, and I don't like having my phone exposed here because, as you can see, without a closed cab, it can get dusty inside. So this bag is awesome because it is weather resistant and dust resistant. Also, you obviously have the dash storage. Usually there's like water bottles, extra stuff in there. Medical kit type stuff can go in there. You got little trays, all that good stuff. One of the cool things in here though, let's turn it on, is we have a heater kit, Eric.
Yeah, and it's summer, so I haven't had to.
It's as low as it goes.
Yeah.
So you have the heater kit. You can obviously change how much heat you want. Fan speed. Turbo fan speed, right? It is actually acting as both a heat and defrosting kit. So you have up here the vents.
Sure, okay.
Basically for a windshield. Check out how the bag works around this vent. So there's a vent here. You have a vent here, which can also shoot on the side windows, here. So like you would be used to. This install is a little bit annoying, and that is why I didn't do it. The ductwork, it's not hard, it's just finicky, and I'm like, I don't need that. Okay, heater kit, awesome. Now, I'm sure you're probably thinking like, how would that even work? Because we have nothing enclosed. It was in preparation for this coming winter where we will be closing off all of the sides. So this will be awesome. We do have some really cool winter stuff in mind that we would like to share. I don't know, what if we put tracks on here, Eric?
We could do tracks. We could do like jump in a sauna and then, jump out into the snow.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe this is the sauna.
What?
Turn the heat on.
That went such a different direction than I thought we were
cut
going.
it out.
We're not cutting it out. Obviously all the switches, so we have all the, you're not gonna be able to tell because it's too dark out, or sorry, it's not dark enough out, but we have all of the light switches. We have the normal lights over here. So we also have the winch here, out, in, ride command, sickest thing ever, navigation.
The screens for, your backup camera, your cameras, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. In rear, backup screen, ground behind us,
yeah.
Front screen, boom.
That helps illustrate how awesome those cameras are to have.
Right through the bumper, love that.
Yeah.
Back into park out of that. The ability to connect your phone in here is awesome. Why? Because you can Bluetooth and play music on the Rockford Fosgate. This is actually from the factory on this limited edition came all of the Rockford Fosgate audio. So you have a speaker there, speaker here, and we have 2 rear speakers.
That's great.
We also had, Eric,
Yeah?
a subwoofer
No way.
down in here,
Okay.
but I had it removed so that we could put in the heater kit.
Ooh,
Because,
right off.
you know, I generally like to ride with no music.
Okay.
I usually play it when we're stopped. And then, you know, you don't always need to have a sub, but sometimes you need to have a sub. But if it's winter, you can't really have a sub.
Yeah, well,
Puts and takes.
it's your build.
That's
Your
how it
build.
goes.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
My first thing that I always order and tell anybody is a rear view mirror. So
Rear view mirror.
you have that. Yep.
Also, oh my gosh, yeah, there's some things above us,
Yeah,
Eric.
yep.
So rear view mirror, definitely a great thing to have, again, for seeing behind you. Honestly, I use it more just for seeing like the person behind me and their headlights. For backing up, it's really the rear camera. Above us, what do we have, Eric? A roof. Number one thing, these are so commonplace that I don't even think about them anymore. Like a side-by-side should just simply have a roof on it. It can help route wiring for lighting or music or whatever you want to do. We actually have in here, check out this thing, a dome light.
Nice. Okay.
You see that?
Yeah.
And it can go, how do I do it? There, and lock it.
That's great.
Literally a dome light, green,
Party mode.
pink, red, and then you can take it out and you can use it at night
Oh, that's nice.
to look at stuff.
Cool.
So it's literally like you have a light right there with you. You could put them back too. I haven't because, you know, they can just figure that out. Okay, lock that back in. Turns off on its own. This puck module looking thing,
Yeah? What's that?
you can see a wire going up to it.
Yeah.
This is the vehicle-to-vehicle communications that allows you to not have cell phone signal and talk to other vehicles with ride command. So, awesome part of the build. The point of this build was for basic trail riding, really just going out, shredding, totally able to shred and have a good time. It's still fairly light, like there could be a lot more going on with bigger bumpers, there could be a rear bumper, there could be some more things in the back, there could be a spare tire, which I don't carry most of the time. There could be a steel cable there. It is a light build for what it is, but still has a ton of storage capabilities. And honestly, Eric, this is mostly designed to be a cool adventure rig.
Got it.
So we've done a lot of very basic covering info on this Trail Talk series, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
And the vehicles have progressed a little as we've continued on. We are going to do some awesome adventure style stuff with these vehicles now. We have the storage, we have some different capability. It's not like literally the next thing we're gonna do. It's always a progression, right?
Yep.
But we're gonna do some cool stuff, camping it, mountain bike in it. Eric mountain bikes.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I mountain bike.
Let's do it.
Imagine. So that is the YouTube general. Let us know in the comments what your thoughts are. Do you like the build? Are we missing anything? What should we do in the future? Obviously, we want to do tracks and a fully enclosed vehicle for winter. Just like, say, we could shuttle for mountain biking. What if we were shuttling for snowboarding in the winter time?
That'd be awesome.
Also would be so sick. What are your thoughts on the build? What would you like to see on it? What else is there possible that we haven't thought of yet? Let us know in the comments. And of course, the one thing we have to tell everyone, Eric, as cool as this machine is, which, let's be honest, all power sports vehicles are quite cool for what they are. They totally aren't cool when they aren't being ridden and they just stay in the garage, or they stay in a storage unit up north. That probably like hit someone right in the heart watching right now.
That's okay.
Please go out and ride your machine. Just get out, have a good time, take the family, take whoever, go by yourself, doesn't matter. But go ride and come on back for the next episode of Trail Talk. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you all next time.